life and little sports. You know we're gonna play some games. And if nothing else, you know we're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh, oh yeah. 'Cause this is the podcast.
It's the end of the season as we know it. It's the end of the season as we know it. And I feel fine. Why did I put an English accent?
I don't know.
That's REM, isn't it?
That's REM.
That's how it starts with the... Yeah.
We tried, good time.
We used to do
tune.
that. Hall and Ass used to do that song.
Did you?
Because Daryl, the guy who was the star of Hall and Ass, he could do that song.
That's awesome.
I would just sit there and go like this. I would do cowbell. Lester is... you can't see this on television.
That's 98, 99.
Lester is looking good.
He is.
So Lester wore the full tank top. Because I don't think wife beater's not an appropriate term, is it?
No,
It's not quite a wife beater.
This is in 2011.
What do they call that bar you got again?
what?
I used to have one of these suckers.
I think it's just like a flex bar.
You guys remember it was an old weightlifting thing in like the 80s. I think every kid of my generation had one. The bar that you bent and it flexed, and that's how you worked out. And I think this is in honor of the fact that episode 34, the Rubber Boots Pod, the second to last episode, but the last formal episode of the pod this season with everybody here, is also New Jack Summer. Puffy and I, without telling Stoff and Lester, have started on a new thing. Remember we had, if you remember last spring, we began New Jack Summer.
Yes.
Where Puffy and I were going to get jacked for the summer.
Yes.
It didn't really happen.
Yes.
I had these injuries, the finger, the elbow.
I just was lazy as
That's
basically what I was.
We're going to call it New Jack Masters.
Yes.
Which isn't quite as catchy as New Jack Summer.
Yeah, New Jack Summer definitely caught on.
So,
I just have a little fun with it.
Puffy's been dreading this for a while.
Yeah, I haven't slept for weeks.
Promising for a year, basically, to do a topless photo of the cast of the pod. I thought of something last night, because I'm a little worried about this, too. No, it has to happen. We should play the clip from when you said earlier, no, we can't do it now. What was it? New Jack Masters. But give me 2 months. It'll be great. New Jack Summer. We'll all be ripped by then. New Jack Masters. This was supposed to be the episode where we went shirtless.
Yes.
And it was posted on Instagram because we've been training for 2 months. I'm willing to do it. Puffy is trying to put the brakes on this and trying to alter the plans.
I swear I thought the Masters was in June.
New Jack U.S. Open.
It has a better ring to it.
So you want to buy yourself some time.
Yes.
But we cannot finish the season without doing this.
No, we'll do
it's not
it before
fair.
the season ends.
So here's an idea.
I really thought it was going to motivate me, but I was beyond motivation.
We have to do the shot today. Because then our listeners would not have any faith in us.
Well,
so
I'm ready.
But you have an option.
Okay.
You can either do topless or pantsless.
I'm definitely going pantsless.
No, you don't have to take your underwear off.
Rock out with your
but pantsless. Do you have what kind of underwear did you choose today? Do you have like the little bikini briefs?
Yeah, I think I have like the Marky Mark boxer briefs.
Oh, there you go. So you could if you want to go pantsless, you can.
It's definitely in the running.
There will be a lot of...
Might have to pack it, though.
There'll be a lot of... I'm going to use all the filters possible on this baby. There's going to be
We're definitely going black and white.
On top of filter. How's everybody doing? Hey, Lester. You're looking pumped. Hey, Puff.
I'm not that pumped.
Excited about the end of the season? The season finale?
Season finale, I mean, it feels like we need a break.
Dramatic season finale.
Is it?
Oh, there's going to be twists and turns that you guys could have never saw coming.
Well, we probably would see some of them.
Yeah, you probably saw them all coming. Bring it back in the fall. How's it going? Stoff's probably the one who's really looking forward to the summer.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do this anymore.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
So why don't we get into the week that was right away?
Let's discuss the week that was with James Duthie and the Rubber Boots Podcast crew.
I didn't do a very good job promoting the podcast. We're going to have mystery guests on the pod.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of mystery guests to sort of put a bow around our season 2. Very successful season. So hopefully we'll have a series of mystery guests.
We did do a lot of episodes.
Yeah, more than we thought.
We were very consistent, actually.
Yeah, like there was no summer episodes, and so...
Well, I mean, some people do it
34.
every single week on the time. But we thought we'd give up after 7.
Yeah, like... he did a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
What else? We're going to finally answer the internship.
Okay, perfect.
Wow.
Today we will have...
We'll have an intern by the end of this episode?
It's a little more complicated than that, but I think it's going to be very appealing to all of you guys.
That's perfect.
Who's going to oil us up if we don't have an intern?
Damn it. That's right. We needed to do that.
Well, we got to wait till pictures till we're all oiled up.
Didn't our president, Stu Johnson, say he was going to be part of the photo? Or he was
he'd
he
come down and he would
take the photo.
Take the photo. Or I thought he'd be in it.
Yeah. I think he's down at 299 Queen Street, right?
Oh, yeah.
In his big
again, we're going to have to postpone it till he can be here.
No, we're doing it. But the week that was, I'm going to start with my raccoon story. Did you follow my raccoon
I saw some of that
story?
on the interweb.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow me on the Instagram, TSN Duthie. So last Saturday night, it's a nice quiet night. Pretty good little Saturday in the suburbs.
Yep.
I'm hanging out watching, I think, World Cup. My wife and daughter, Gracie, are in the other room. Cheryl and Gracie watching a film. And I let my dog outside, Buddha, my Boston Terrier, to have a pee. And I hear these weird noises, like screaming and screeching. And I look outside, and Buddha's got this baby raccoon on its back.
Oh, he's fighting the raccoon?
Well, I don't know. It's all a blur. It's kind of dark. It's right outside my door. And then there's another raccoon screeching. And Buddha's a very nice dog, but he is a terrier, so I don't know if he's eating the raccoon. I don't know if the raccoon's attacking him.
Oh, God.
Stuff is happening fast. So I open the door. My first instinct is to grab the dog, but he's kind of squirming. And I'm grabbing the dog, and this is probably 3 seconds. And as I do that, the two raccoons bolt inside my house.
Wow.
Oh, that's not good at all.
They're so bold now, these raccoons, right?
So I'm like, I go back inside the house, and one raccoon is under the kitchen table, and the other raccoon is behind the drapes. So I call my wife, who loves wildlife. Like, you have to understand, my girls, if there is a mosquito in the house, scream. So I'm like, honey, what's wrong? What's going on? There's 2 live raccoons in our house right now. And meanwhile, the dogs are losing their effing minds.
Because I have a dog, and they fight. If she fights raccoons all the time.
Really?
The sound my other dog Willow, who's now on the scene, the sound Willow was making. I'll play it for you now. I said it on Instagram. It was like a chicken in heat or something like that, Willow. So so the one raccoon leaves. The door is still open. It bolts. Decides the other raccoon says, "This is my new home."
Of course, it's nice.
I'm living with the Duthies. So no desire to come out from underneath the kitchen table. Then it goes under the drapes. I grab 2 oven mitts because that's a logical thing to do. I try to pick up the raccoon, but those raccoons are nasty bastards.
Hold on a second. You tried to actually touch the raccoon?
No, it's a baby raccoon, right? So it's little raccoon, little furball raccoon.
That's a little...
I know. And it
CFL football.
I know. I don't like those at all.
Yeah. I mean, not me.
So I'm like, okay, I can't do this.
I would have moved.
So I grab a broom. I decided to try and sweep the raccoon outside of the house. And by this time, I'm talking to it like you talk to a puppy or your kid. I'm like, come on, little raccoonie. Come on, baby. We'll go back and see mama. Get outside.
That's how you talk to your puppy?
Yeah.
It's evil.
When you have kids, you end up talking like, you don't do that? Come on, you did so. Come on, little baby Austin.
Maybe when they were a little baby.
Let's go see if the Eagles cover. You.
May have happened.
So I egg this raccoon. It takes me about 15 minutes to get the raccoon out the door, shut the door. Everything's fine. We go back out about a half an hour later, Gracie and I, with our flashlights, no raccoons to be found. The mother must have come back. Everything's good. Wake up the next morning, go downstairs. At the door, these 2 little heads staring in the door. Come, Daddy! Daddy! We want to live now. I don't know why if raccoons would have an accent like that, but I put one on them. So
they're now part of your family. They're living in the house.
So, no, I don't. But they spend the entire day. I had to go to soccer, but they spent the entire day climbing the screen and trying to get into the house, trying to climb on the roof. It was crazy. And of course, my daughters at this point are now, Daddy, can we keep them? No, we're not keeping the raccoons.
Should have
So
called Dregs up. He would have come over with a shotgun.
well, that's
taking
what he
care of
tweeted.
it.
He would have, and I thought about just getting them into a box somehow and taking them out into the woods.
Oh,
'Cause I
so
live-
when I had my little incident with the wildlife and it passed away,
You locked them in your recycling bin.
locked in, or they were just there.
You locked it in there because you were afraid of it.
No, I let the door open and let it leave. Run away to Florida for a nice booze-filled party.
I don't
team.
want to hear the story you told your children about how the opossums in Disneyland somewhere having fun.
As a father of children, I was protecting my clan.
He did feed them the
I
pumpkins.
did feed them though. There was pumpkins in there for them to eat.
Oh my!
I believe that pumpkin was a murder attempt. And you sugarcoated that story.
Oh, now you're boxing raccoons.
You dropped the giant pumpkin in the recycling bin. Anyway.
It's either them or me.
I wasn't boxing, so I was going to release them into the wild, but then I was told by a couple of people I called, because I started to call wildlife people, that they would have no chance.
You have wildlife people?
Well, they're in the phone, they're on the interweb, and they said the raccoons would be gone, like eaten. They're too small to make it on their own, and their mom's dead. Their mom's orphaned.
How'd their mom die?
We don't know how their mom died. Likely got hit by a car.
Oh,
I did. There was some reno going on 2 doors down from me, and I saw a raccoon. There's the big box when you have a reno outside that's outside the house, and I saw a raccoon in there. And then the next day they took away the box. So I'm wondering if Mama jumped in the box, and then they took away the box, and that was it from Mama. So I felt sad, and there's millions of baby raccoons to get orphaned. I call these places. Yeah, we have 145 baby raccoons. We have to feed by a bottle every day. We cannot take your raccoons. But finally, Cheryl found some place. We trapped the raccoons in a box. I lured them in with blueberries and dog food. And Cheryl drove them an hour downtown to the Toronto Wildlife Center that took the raccoons. They're going to now raise them as their own for 2 months. And then they re-released them within a 15-kilometer circle of where they were found. Wow. So these raccoons will definitely make their way back to Daddy.
Oh, yeah, they're coming back,
of course,
and haunt me for the rest of my life.
Are we trying to get rid of raccoons, though?
Tell Duthie.
Like, they're a bit of a nuisance.
I hate raccoons,
Yeah,
but but babies are different. They look at you, they give you those eyes, and you just want to.
Raccoons.
Then they give you the.
I know. And the raccoon people were like, "Did they poop?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's some poop right out there. You remove that poop right now because it's going to kill your entire family." Apparently, raccoon poop is very toxic.
Really?
Yeah, the stuff you need
That's
to know.
the thing. They're trying to kill you. That was a murder attempt.
I think this is one of the more educational podcasts out there in podcast
I think we've
land.
probably given out a lot of incorrect information about raccoons.
about raccoons. Have you tried listening to the entire season?
Do you think we've been right more than we've been wrong on things? Like, are we like 50-50?
30-70.
I think we're fairly accurate. And listen, Stoff always does a great job. If we say something wrong, he'll
correct it and post.
If you move hard one way, I'm going to see your nipple.
Yeah, can't have that. That costs money.
Those are his money makers.
One of the things I'll have to edit out.
Do you ever take off your shirt in concert with any of your bands?
Never chant. No.
No, you never.
No?
It's not about that.
Did they ever chant that? The ladies take off.
Never been in that position at all.
Lester's nipple.
That could be a band name.
Lester's nipple.
Lester's nipple.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for Lester's Nipple!
It's a thrash metal band.
Yeah,
3-piece hard metal band.
And you could play in both. They could open for the Graveyard Diggers.
Graveyard Diggers.
All right, let's get to the only 4 or 5 months delayed. Great Rubber Boots Podcast Internship Contest.
Yes.
Intern Contest Ship.
That is the worst theme you've ever done. Maybe you can work on that, because as I will get to, it may not end today.
It's not ending today. That's a shocker.
Well, here's what I thought. It hit me last night. So, first of all, apologies to all the people. People sent in like resumes and 5-page letters.
Nah, you got to think outside the
right?
Legitimate operation.
We don't have time to read all that.
I don't have time to go through them all. I can't read them all today because we were swamped with them. But I'll go through a series of them, some little tidbits, see what you guys think.
Sure.
What I've decided to do is, in a bachelor-type vein,
nice.
Instead of hiring an intern today, we are going to have an internship.
What the hell does that mean?
So we'll select like
Maybe the
five
dumbest thing you've ever
finalists.
Yeah.
who will intern to be the intern.
Oh, so we'll have 5 people interning at the same time.
So over the summer, they could send us ideas for segments and features. As we get into the fall, maybe every week we can have one on, interview them, see how they're doing, make some suggestions to us, and then sometime around December, we actually choose the intern. Now,
I think that's a good idea.
The internship interns, the IIs, the internship interns, IIs we'll call them.
Yeah,
they will get stuff. I will send them like all copies of the book, swag. They're going to win something for being a finalist.
I'll maybe send them some picks, some hot picks coming for the weekend football.
We'll
games.
help them, and we'll have them on the pod.
I thought you meant pictures of yourself, actually.
Maybe
well, when I have my body, I get ripped over the summer. I'd be body shamed in about 20 minutes.
Maybe we'll get Lester to write a song about each intern.
That would be nice.
Each II, each internship finalist. So, by the way, I'm my mystery guest. I've been texting with my mystery guests, trying to collaborate times.
Okay.
So I'm just this one will work perfectly. All right. So let me go through some of the intern. In the IIs for you.
You've picked 5 finalists? Or
I have a pretty good idea, but if you guys want to weigh in, you can sway me right now. Now, I won't read everything here, and there's possibility I lost some. But I went through Instagram and Twitter, and a couple of people who emailed me. A guy named Kieran Scott, who his number, he was a social media expert, and he also lives right across the highway in Scarborough from the studio. So that was his thing. He thought he could just walk up here.
Awesome. It's a big...
Laura Cope, 87, one of the ladies who studies media communications right now in Sweden.
Wow.
She's a Brock University media and communications student, has handled multiple social media accounts for a girls' camp. I thought Laura Cope, 87... sounded very...
sounds good.
I like the little Swedish. Maybe she should bring a...
Yeah.
If she's still in Sweden, who knows? It has been 6 months since she sent me this.
IKEA sponsorship, maybe?
Hopefully they're all still alive.
Megan Wong, who's out in Van City. You know I love the Van City.
Yeah, you do love Van.
Also has done social media for a couple of things called Free Van City and Shing Weddings. She sent out a big resume on LinkedIn. It was very impressive. And she works in cyber crime.
Get out.
And you know I love forensic files.
You do love a forensic file.
So it would almost be enough to get an internship for me to talk to her about forensic files.
But would there
give you classified information?
Would there be any forensic files with cybercrime? There wouldn't be any DNA, would there be?
Oh, cybercrime, yeah.
And would Puffy's gambling be...
Yeah, I don't
she could look into?
Right.
I'm not sure if we need to make sure she's hired because she will bury the stuff on the internet from me, or she'll find it.
But that would be the point. She would sign a lawyer-client privilege thing,
non-disclosure,
and then she would get rid of all your internet ghosts.
That's pretty
all
good.
those texts.
I like her.
All those dick pics.
Yeah. See, I'm not I missed that whole wave.
Yeah.
Not saying I wouldn't have participated back in the day,
but would you have? Why would you ever send anyone a picture of your penis? Why would you?
If it was going to
this
be
podcast is supposed to be
by...
timeless.
Oh,
okay, it's airing like
they don't know which Sweden.
No, would you honestly ever send a picture? Why would you send a photo of your penis? Like,
hold on, I'm like 24 and single. And I'm like having a sexy chat with.
Oh, and you have an interesting penis by all accounts. We've had this conversation before, but we won't get into it on the pod.
So would I? If it was like I'll show you mine, you show me yours. I think that transaction probably would have taken place at one point in my life.
I would never do it. I don't want that floating around out there.
Stuff.
I would never do it. However, this came up once here, and I won't name the producer at TSN Radio, but he's a much younger guy, and he said something to the effect of, "What, you've never sent a dick pic to one of your friends?" And apparently they do it to themselves back
the young
and forth.
guys
Yeah,
do.
really?
Okay, so a girlfriend of mine, 2 different words, told me that some guy who she just followed on Twitter, and he followed her back, who is a guy who has followers. He has like 100,000 followers. I know the person, but I'm not going to mention to him.
Yeah.
He sends her, but that's it. Like they may have like DM'd a couple of times on Twitter. Hey, I like your stuff. Whatever. That's it. He sends her a dick pic.
Yeah.
Out of the blue,
wow.
A dick pic pops into her DMs, and she writes back and goes, "What is this?" and he goes, "Oh, sorry." And that's all he wrote. No. like if you took a dick pic and sent it to the wrong person, or I guess sent it, maybe you were hoping for something back. I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're hoping for something.
But unsolicited, like remember the Brett Favre alleged ones?
Yes.
That's how big these egos guys get. A girl has not really shown any interest in me. She's just talking to me, but I'm just out of the blue going to send her a dick pic.
Perhaps you'll like this. Perhaps this will change your mind.
Oh,
yeah, you'd expect that dick pics should be asked for.
Yeah.
Rather than just sent.
Well, or at least you're in a situation where it's getting steamy back and forth, and then you decide to throw that hammer into the mix, if you don't mind me using that term.
I just think it's the dumbest thing ever.
I don't get it. Like,
so there's no Tommy.
Now ball pics, I would say.
Who doesn't want to see balls?
So anyway, Megan Wong can get rid of all Puffy's dick pics, which I know he's denying right now, but must be out there somewhere. She works in cybercrime. So Megan is definitely a candidate. Scott Erlandson sent a 5-page letter. It must be 10,000 words. He's a radio host in Lethbridge, does social media for the Lethbridge Hurricanes, does photography, and his uncle works for Canada Post, so his knowledge of the mail system is vast and unrivaled. He sent that out there.
That's big.
He's
That's
also
those books out
a
there.
personal trainer.
Whoa, wow.
Which could help us. So a social media manager,
Fantastic.
a sports guy, a radio host, and a part-time DJ.
Oh my God! So he can just spin tunes while I dance.
Should we just name him as a finalist right now?
He's definitely a finalist.
All right.
He's got a lot going on.
Scott is one of our eyes. Somebody named Stephen Taco Dublas. I just like the fact that he was Taco. He's a Leafs fan living in Nebraska, and all he said, really, he didn't even send a resume, that I'm way funnier than whatever other bozos are applying for the job. I like that. Ben Valentino posted a picture of his dog with a Budweiser, saying his dog would like to be the intern. His dog's hobbies entail barking, licking himself, pooping, and chasing rabbits. That's all he sent. Isaac Lockhart's from Ottawa. He's a legislative assistant in the House of Commons, if we want to get into some government grants.
Not bad.
Instead of sponsorships, perhaps, I
Can you
thought.
imagine that?
Martin Allam is a Brock University sports management student, works with the Hamilton Bulldogs. He once wore a mascot costume, Bruiser the Bulldog, mimicking Drake's Hot Light Bling moves, and posted it on the web, and it got a lot of hits. So there's a possibility.
James Duthie's Rubber
He seems
Boots
like
Podcast,
an idea guy.
brought to you by the Government of Canada.
Some guy named Chinkaski, I didn't get his full name, third-year accounting student in Calgary. I was going to help, said... he gave me some football picks. That's all he did for Puffy. But it was January 19th, so it couldn't help you out right now. Simply Hammy.
Well, they winners, though.
Simply Hammy's on Fandom, all that. He's very clever. He helps some friends with a social media startup, and he runs his parents' gym.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Nick Reyes, I think, was the guy I met who came up to me at the track meet of my daughters. He does some Ryerson Rams broadcasting. This is the thing that really lured me for Nick. He's a DB for high school football. Was the defensive MVP. So right up my alleyway.
So you guys just swap stories about how awesome you are.
He also worked at Muskoka Woods, which my kids camp. But I have to be careful. Like, Nick's a great guy, but I got to be careful about hiring people that you know. I want this to be on the level. Like Quinn Marr. You guys have been on the Quinn Marr podcast.
Yes.
And Quinn's a great guy. We love his podcast.
Yeah.
We'll support Quinn all day. He sort of applied too, but he also worked at TSN. So we think, I'd rather just help Quinn more with his podcast than having him.
Yeah.
He's going to send us a T-shirt too, so I didn't want to bribe. He didn't feel like he was bribing me.
Yeah.
Scott Reynolds, another guy who sent various applications, 2 master's degrees, a classic trumpet player, and I think the big one for Scott was that he is in Berlin, Germany.
Oh, wow.
And so he doesn't ever want to come in, so we don't have to worry about that.
Wow.
Perfect. But he's a very funny guy. He sends us a lot of funny things. So humor is his thing. So I'm going to put Scott as one of our finalists.
Okay.
Because he sent numerous tweets during the year that always made me laugh.
Well,
and so if you can make me
Jimmy
laugh.
funny.
What the hell else? Neil from Newfoundland has an innate ability to play the spoons. And he says, as a fat man, I can order food like nobody's business.
Wow.
Scott Rupp wore rubber boots on his farm growing up near Waterloo, and often visits Bump's hometown, Baden.
Oh, wow.
Is that right, eh?
He goes to University of Guelph, where Jared goes. That's another bonus.
Could be a buddy.
So anyway, I can't get through all these. It's taking too long. But I thank all of you guys for replying. I promise you we read every word of the ones we got, except for the ones we lost.
So who are the finalists?
So, okay. Scott Erlinson, I already mentioned.
Yep.
The guy from Lethbridge. Scott Reynolds. So 2 Scotts. I definitely want lady content on here. We need that on the pod.
Yes.
So our Laura Cope, 87, who's the One Media Communications student.
Yeah,
Brock
she
University.
she knew what
very good.
time was.
And Megan Wong, the cybercrime expert from Vancouver. So those are 4 right now.
Yeah, we should probably have 5. 5 feels like a good number.
Okay, 5. I think that Simply Hammy, just because he supported Fandom all year long and he worked with a social media startup. He has 2 Twitter accounts that have like 60K followers that he's started. So he can help us with the social media.
60K followers?
Yeah, I believe so.
Pretty good.
Which is 57 more than our account.
So I think the first challenge is that they're all on Murder Island, and whoever escapes.
Yeah, so
Murder Island
we'll
ideas.
we'll expand this next year. Do we eliminate them a la Bachelor, one by one?
I think that's how it goes, one by one.
We knock them off next year.
We give out. I don't know. What would be instead of a rose? What would we give them?
Dick
book.
pic.
Maybe a book.
A dick pic.
You accept this dick pic.
Please
No.
accept this.
Scott, do you accept this dick pic?
The 2 Scots would. The ladies would sue us immediately.
No,
we would
not
never.
accept that.
We would never send you those. Yeah, no. But I'll give them all presents. Free swag for being a finalist. So they can start right now. We don't expect them to work hard this summer. And frankly, I'm not going to answer any emails or anything this summer. But if you have ideas, send it along to the Instagram or Twitter.
We don't expect you to work hard. Like, send us some emails. I'm not answering them.
But come the fall,
you better
come the
be
fall,
ready.
you bring it,
You better
and
be ready.
maybe we will turn over our social media accounts to them, one by one, and let's see what they can do with it.
The best is going to be when it's just dick pic after dick. Screw us.
So I'll contact them all, let them know you are the Internship Intern Contest. So you're interning to be an intern now. Now, maybe we have to have some way, like The Bachelor does, where like the old boyfriend comes back, where if somebody blows us away with a new resume in the fall, they get brought back into the show.
That's
right.
Yeah.
So it's not completely closed. So I've figured out a way to stretch this for
another season.
Now, I haven't told Kenny Volden that I've actually hired 5 interns when he told me.
Well, he did say you're not allowed to hire 1, so 5 should be fine.
Right, yeah, we can pull that off. So that's the internship, the Double I campaign. I look forward to get to work, all 5 of you. All right?
Yep.
So the staff we've doubled our staff. Just like that,
Pretty
baby.
impressive, actually.
I think so. Oh, one other thing. It's fascinating,
How
by
about
the way.
did the guy from the government make it?
The guy from the government. No, we didn't. Why did you want him on there?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. His background was interesting.
All right. Well, he might be one of those guys we reconsider
he
once
might
we
be a
start
reconsider.
firing people in the fall.
So don't give up, guy from government. Still in the running.
We still
by the government of Canada.
I had a couple other things. I'd never gone on the Instagram account and actually read stuff before. Scott Reynolds, I forgot to read why I actually picked him. He had a lot of funny things to say. I listened to the podcast. I can play piano and guitar, so I'd be able to jump right into Grooveyard. He once gave Kari Lettinen a ride to his hotel in his Pontiac minivan.
Nice.
I enjoyed that. And I refuse to consider relocating for the job, and I live in Berlin, Germany. Sincerely, Scott Reynolds.
It's amazing that people are listening from Berlin, Germany, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A guy named Scuba Steven, this was months ago, said, "Oh no, love the pod." No, this was recently. "I'd be jacked to hear your guys' thoughts on guys wearing jerseys not only of teams that aren't playing, but of totally different sports jerseys. I see this way too many times in a load of cities. You're at a Bruins game, and some clown walks in wearing a Seahawks tarp."
I agree.
That's kind of good.
Agree with that.
We weren't going to do AOL or AOK today, but is that if you can't wear like a football jersey at a Leafs game, something like that?
No.
That's a little weak. A little weak.
I don't think adults should be wearing any kind of jerseys to start with.
I'll go one step further. Let's say it's Boston and Montreal, and you show up with another team jersey, I don't like that either. It's either Boston or Montreal are playing. That's it. Go show up with your Leaf jersey or your Canucks jersey or your Vegas Knights jersey.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
The other thing I realized when I actually read our Instagram account, people send in suggestions for
There's like some great segments there.
So, Max Hazelwood, this was about March 21st.
Oh, okay.
Had a suggestion for Puffy's Hypotheticals.
Oh, nice.
Puffy's Hypotheticals, who really gives a crap? All the ladies want to hear is the Rod Smith recap. Blah, 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 blah. Roddy is the best. The best.
I have to decide what to do with the Rod Smith recap next season. It's a very time consuming.
It's a lot for you. It's
but
a
I
lot
know
for the person who writes it.
But I know it's very popular, and so we have to figure out what to do there.
You should throw that around and give people an opportunity to write that.
Write the Rod
Maybe
Smith
the
recap.
intern is writing the
Whoa,
Rod Smith
test number 1. Good thinking, Lester McLean.
So that's 5 recaps already taken care of. Might have to expand the list to 10 people.
Max Hazelwood sent this to me on March 21st. Hey guys, I got a Puffy's Hypotheticals for you. The last male white rhino died today. If you were asked to have sex with a female rhino to try to save the white rhino species, would you? With the willingness to have sex, you are highly praised and receive $100K.
If you add a 0, I'm in.
Okay, but you're going to be a hero. You have saved the white rhino species.
But I need $1 million to have sex with an animal. Even if it's for praise.
Yeah. Would you want to be
I'd
known
want it
for
to be videotaped.
No, but you see, but
on CNN.
But is it?
What is wrong with you?
This is CNN breaking news.
But wait a second.
Well, because you're actually saving a species. So
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Like, it'd be beautiful in a way.
So it's not
going to think of that.
So this,
she'd be fine. I'm saving a white rhino, and not like I'm picking up Becky at the club.
Becky.
Plus, it's $1 million.
In order to entice the white rhino into having sex with you, would you send it a dick pic?
I would do a seductive dance, though.
No, wait a second. So when you said you need $1 million, it's because you find the act disgusting. It's not because people would find out you had sex with a white rhino.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, I'm not even sure I find it disgusting if you're actually saying I'm saving a species.
Yeah.
It's somewhat beautiful.
But would the future of the white rhino then be, would they look like you but with a horn coming out of your forehead?
We're assuming that it's going to look like the white rhino.
Okay, so you're saying no for $100K, yes for $1 million?
If the $100K is like in a briefcase and it's like all like wrapped nicely bills,
you like that?
I might do the $100K. I think I would actually take like $100,000 like in a briefcase wrapped nicely, then like $250,000 just put into my account.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I just like the sight of the money.
Lester?
Is there no way that we can, with technology this day and age, there's no way that we can artificial inseminate this rhino with
the key ingredient is going to be love.
Humans to rhino love.
Listen, you know me. I think I'm going to have to pass on this.
No paths on the podcast, buddy. So you're saying no?
I'm saying no.
All
There's no way I'd do that.
Okay.
The rhino's extinct for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, humans.
Yeah, humans have slaughtered them.
Human poachers slaughtered them.
You know, like your species. Say the rhino had to make love to you to keep the race going. Would it be? Would you want the rhino to have sex with you?
Listen, I'm assuming the rhino would do it for free, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's the thing.
Especially if he saw you with that tank top.
So reverse it. Say you're the last person.
Right.
And the only way to get another person is to have sex with a rhino. Would you do it?
Well, then of course you do.
But would the rhino have sex with you?
You gave it $100,000.
Stop! You've been quiet in there. What would you make love to the rhino?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little creepy-ish. I think I'll pass.
The bigger question is
just letting this rhino.
If any of us made love to a rhino, would the rhino actually even know anything was happening?
Oh, exactly. No, wouldn't feel a thing.
There's a mosquito on my butt.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd want it to be properly secured. I'm not taking like a hoof in the nuts. I want that locked down.
Okay. So anyway, thanks, Max, for.
Hold on. Are you lovemaking to the rhino? You're a lover of animals. You got raccoons living in your house.
Yeah, I'd save the species.
You would, eh?
Yeah, I'd do it for. I'm a big fan of nature.
Now, say
my wife would have to approve.
Say they said $100,000 cash to you, or $5 million to the charity of your choice. for doing the act, what would you do?
You bastard. You hit my weakness. $5 million I'd have to go
$5 million
for the
to the charity of your choice.
Now, if it was $1 million to me...
So James Duthie
How about
fund.
$10 million to you?
I mean,
or
I've saved
$100 million to the charity.
I've saved the rhino species. Do I really need to do more to the to charities? Have I not given enough, Puffy? Lester, should we do this now?
I don't know, man.
The picture now?
Should we do? Could we have our mystery guests lined up?
No, do the mystery.
Do the mystery.
The picture. We're putting this picture off as long as possible.
I know, but we're gonna
trying to get
get kicked out for Leafs lunch. So
we are?
We only have a short time, so I think we need to do the photo now. But who's going to take the photo if? Stoff, you can't. You have to be in on this, so you have to come in.
What's this? This is the first I'm hearing of any of this.
Let me say this.
What's this
I did this of my own accord. I really don't feel we have to take this picture.
No, we 100% have to take the photo.
I am with Lester.
You already say you just take your pants off.
Going pantsless.
Stoff, come in and get the guy in the next. Just leave the record buttons on.
Shirts or pants? Shirts or pants. You can take, but you have to go.
Pants. Hold on. How about shirts and pants?
Oh God. Flex, hard flex, and then like blue steel.
So there we are. I'm looking at the photo right now.
Did it look good?
I was really sucking it in.
Yeah, you were
Puffy, like Christoph's elbow is kind of blocking your guide a little bit, so that's good. Lester looks fantastic. He's flexing his thing. Not his thing. By this thing, I mean the bar. And Stoff was the only one who elected to go pantsless.
Yes, he did.
And he's got some nice underwear on. Although, if I think I zoom in,
Oh, you don't need that much zoom.
Does that count as a cockpit?
maybe this should be.
Let's see.
I think you can see his cock.
I think something is sticking out just slightly.
Just at the bottom.
Just at the bottom.
Just at the bottom. And those are longer boxers than you'd think.
Yes, yeah.
I have to say, if this shadow is correct, this is impressive. Stoff should have been sending dick pics for years if what I'm seeing is real.
He's been hiding it.
So we finally got it done.
Fun.
So now, don't you feel relieved? It's not hanging over you anymore.
I haven't been able to sleep for months.
You could use a little shave on that.
I fight a little bit.
There is a lot going on there, but you're still a handsome man.
I know.
And look at you got a real blue steel look going on.
I locked it in too. I did lock it.
Like I think you were worried about this.
Tom Selleck.
I think this will add to your what is it? Q factor? What
Q
is
factor?
It?
Yeah.
No,
My Q factor is.
I think people will like this. I think it's got a very. It could be the cover of a Harlequin romance novel.
True. Me and Fabio.
Oh, good Lord!
I can't believe it's not butter.
Do we have our it's mystery guest time?
Is it you, Fabio?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It's me, Fabio.
So, if you listen to us throughout the year, we had quite a cast of characters.
Yeah.
Who came on usually through my dreams.
Yes.
They would often. Do you think anybody?
Is this going to be Minnie Adnan Burke? This would be unbelievable.
Wouldn't that be the best the best mystery guest ever? Do you think any of my dreams were creepy?
No.
Hey, it'll be funnier if I'm in bed with you guys and my head just pops up in the middle. And I'm like, okay. So we go to film, and then the head pops up, and it's Stoff.
They were all
strange.
fine.
The last one with the Hot Wheels. I don't get that.
I don't get it, Lester. I don't know what understand.
The Hot Wheels
what
and
happened.
Johnny Lou's tongue.
Yeah.
All right, so our first mystery guest. This is very exciting.
Yes.
Maybe we should just hear her voice and see if you guys can figure it out. Mystery guest, could you speak to us?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Maybe she needs to sing something. It's Lindsay Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Lindsay.
The sweet, dulcet tones of Lindsay Hamilton.
Well, this is my last pod. Thank you very much, everybody.
Lester has been fired again. We'd like to proudly announce today that for season 3, the new musical voice of the pod is Lindsay Hamilton. You
locked her in.
You will be paid nothing.
And you get no royalties ever.
Well, first of all, Lindsay, thank you very much, because we know, I know you probably didn't listen to the pod. You have a very busy life, and so Stoff...
I did listen to the pod, of course I did.
but before. So when Stoff first calls you or emails you and says, hey, Lindsay, we need you. You were in a dream of James's, and you have to sing
excuse me?
Wicked Game dedicated to Puffy. That must have sounded a little bit strange.
Well, I had listened to one before, so I was like, okay, but I didn't know necessarily like what the dream sequence was, aside for the brief description of Puffy's death, and we're singing at a bar, and I was like, this is an interesting sequence, but sure, I'm gay, I'll sing along.
You see, that's what we love about you, is you just, there was so many questions that could have arisen in your head, and yet you still played along.
And then thanks to Lester and, of course, Christoph editing, they made some magic. So it worked.
It was
I'm glad Puffy is still alive.
It was pretty magic.
Solid outcome.
Now, have you ever, the question, you remember that I didn't believe it was actually you. It was so good, especially the wicked game part. Did you ever sing, or did you ever sing in a band or anything?
So I grew up just kind of like singing with my family. So my dad loved playing the guitar. So then I started playing the guitar, and my other sister does. So we used to always sometimes play together. And then back in the day when I was younger and I worked for the Family Channel, I would sing with them, and we did kind of this tour across Canada with an anti-bullying pitch to it.
We got a buried lead there.
You worked for the Family Channel? What did you do?
Yeah, back in the day when I was 18, I worked with them. I was like the host of their channel.
Were you on the Wiggles?
Not on the Wiggles, sadly. I know that's a really big thing. Jay Onright was actually telling me about how his daughter loves the Wiggles.
So would you would throw to the like different shows and cartoons and stuff and do?
Yes, we kind of interviewed like all the Disney and Family Channel celebrities. So,
wow!
All of your like Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez and all of those people.
So
yeah,
you actually do Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez? What were they like? What were they like?
Very sweet, both of them. Justin Bieber actually did the hair flip. Like, I saw it in person. He at the time still had like the shaggy hair. And like seconds before interview, I actually got to see it in person. I was like, oh, this does exist.
So was this early Biebs? Like before he was
early Biebs. Yeah, this was when like it was his first big movie. He did this movie, Say Never 3D.
Great
So it was his press tour for that. Oh, you've seen it. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
I cried when I saw Never Say Never, which I was on a plane and it was very embarrassing, but I cried.
Here's the joy. Yeah, although we couldn't ask any questions about him and Selena. That was off limits. Yes, couldn't dive into that.
Now, were any of the Disney stars or whatever you interviewed complete You know, like that child actor stories that we hear about, which were like...
Yeah, some definitely had a little bit of a personality, I guess you could say.
Right. That means cocaine use.
But I was actually, like, most of the time pleasantly surprised. I think because a lot of them just had to start working so early. Like, a lot of these child stars started when they were, I don't know, 6, 8, you know, like as kids, so they were just so used to working in the business. So a lot of them were professionals kind of by the time we got them.
But in a way, aren't you were kind of a child star then, right? Like, how old are you when you were doing this?
I'm definitely not a child star.
Were you like 17 years old doing the show, or were you?
Yeah, I started it when I was 18.
You're a child star. Lindsay Hamilton, child star.
On Family Channel.
Yes.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Do any of this stuff exist on YouTube that we can now look it up as soon as we finish this pod?
Oh, gosh. I mean, yes, you definitely could. Woo! I don't know why I just threw myself under the bus
Lindsay
here.
Hamilton.
But,
I'm just wondering if I watched Lindsay not knowing.
Because your kids would have been.
Yeah, my kids would have been. I would have been the age of like Dora the Explorer and all that stuff. And
maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Wow. Yeah, you never know.
Okay, I'm going to look back and see what you looked like back then. What do you got planned for the summer?
Well, I'm going to head to the cottage for a couple days because...
Can you invite us all up one weekend? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll just pull out the guitars. Lester can
around the campfire.
Around the campfire. Summer evening.
Is your cottage up in Muskoka?
It is, yes. My dad inherited it from his parents, so that will be nice to go up. And then Canada Day weekend, I'll be doing some doubles all weekend at Sports Center.
Oh, who would want to do that?
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Nice. I'll be with you. Free agency.
The big thing is Regatta Day weekend. I'm uber competitive, as is my entire family. So Regatta weekend is like canoe races, 3 in a canoe by hand.
Wow.
You jump in and out of the canoe, and then you have to keep going. It gets very competitive.
Wow.
People are falling, canoes are tipping over, but it's insane and chaos, and it's great.
That's awesome.
We should that should be a show.
That should be
a Vic Router show.
Yeah, like you
Make
think
the
Ultimate
final.
Ninja Warrior is crazy?
Hamilton has dumped her mother.
Crazy.
She's pounding her mother.
So were you besides hosting the show, Lindsay, were you an athlete at that time?
I was, yeah. So I also played lacrosse while filming this. I was kind of going back and forth and trying to squeeze everything in together.
Wow.
Well, Lindsay, we'd love to have you on next season, season
I'd love
3.
that.
If you could come in studio, and then we'll have you on for a full hour.
Anytime. Let's do it.
We're doing mystery guests today, and we know you have a day to get to. So thank you so much. And maybe we should write a song for Lindsay. Then she could perform her own song. Be like, Lindsay Hamilton.
Yes.
She was on the Family Channel. She played lacrosse. She has a family regatta.
Right there. It's done. Jeez.
Yeah, we'll work on that over the summer.
Job easy. Great. And
listen,
I know I told you, but I also have like the weirdest dreams all the time.
Do you?
So I can definitely add to the weird dream segment.
Yes, if you could bring, that would be fantastic, because mine are, I had John Liu with a Hot Wheels on his tongue last week, so mine are getting weird, so we could use some new material there, okay?
Yeah, it's all over the place here too.
Lindsay,
all right, sounds good.
Have a great summer, and thanks so much.
See you, Lindsay.
Thanks. You guys take care.
Lindsay Hamilton. So while Lindsay was speaking with us, Stoff was working on the YouTube.
Yes.
And there's all sorts of Lindsay Hamilton on YouTube. So Stoff, you can maybe play us a clip.
Hey family, I'm Lindsay. It's Friday, and you know what that means. Okay, I have an idea. Let's try and find 2 snowflakes that are exactly alike. Sound like fun? I love it.
So there she is.
She's accomplished quite a bit in her
Hamilton on the Family Channel. All right, time for mystery guest number 2. Are you on the line?
I'm here.
I believe it's 1999 Sarah Orlesky. How are you, 1999 Sarah Orlesky?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, we're excellent. So if you remember, I hope you didn't miss this episode of the pod. I had a dream where I ran into Sarah Orlesky, but it was 1999 Sarah Orlesky. She became a recurring character. I believe when we left off, she had been rescued from evil Lester Newman's place in Genoa City. Right. And Roddy, we found out Roddy is her real father?
I thought there was still
up in the air.
Still up in the air.
But he'd embraced her.
Yes, he has his own.
And then he'd let her go spread her wings.
Yes.
And she had moved to Winnipeg.
Yep.
And she was attending the Gary Lawless School of Broadcasting.
Yes.
So how did that go, 1999 Sarah Orlesky?
Well, it didn't go well.
To
be honest.
Oh.
I know. That's not what you wanted to hear, because everything usually goes well for 1999 Sarah Orlesky.
Yes, it
but
does.
Not this time around.
What happened?
No, I arrived. I was ready to take part in his School of Broadcasting, and just before it was supposed to start, I got an email. It had shut down. There is no more.
Sounds like Trump University. Was it a complete scam?
I don't know, but rumor has it he's got absolutely wooed by bright lights and is somewhere warm now, just sitting and relaxing by a pool. So you can imagine.
Perhaps he lost the funding somehow. Didn't
You
have the
can
money.
imagine my devastation.
Well, I mean, that's an esteemed school.
Well, what was I going to do now? So I had to debate.
Okay.
What would I do?
So what did you do? What happened to you this year? Just give us an update in your life.
Well, I mean, I spent a lot of time at coffee shops thinking about how I was going to proceed with things and what was my next avenue going to be. Was I going to try to become a influencer on social media? Was I maybe going to try to become a gamer, because that seemed like a natural
of course it would.
progression for me. Maybe an unwrapper on YouTube, because I hear that can be pretty profitable.
But you know your future, I mean, we haven't really figured out the whole time continuum of this bit. But you do have to end up being a broadcaster someday, because that's what 2018 Sarah Orlesky is, right? So what did...
How did I get there?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. That's for next season, isn't it?
It's a mind-boggling. This whole thing is mind-boggling.
In so many ways.
What about your love life, 1999 Sarah Orlesky?
But the best thing is, while I was sitting there debating all this, because as I mentioned, I had a lot of time now.
Right.
Over. I was sitting there, and one day, when I least expected it, the door opened, and he walked in.
So
man, we met eyes.
Whoa.
And I fell in love.
Wow. Now, can you tell is he with you now?
He's amazing. He's amazing. And he's here right... Do you want to speak to him?
I would, put him on the phone. We're intrigued.
Okay, hold on. Here he is.
Hey guys, Jimmy, Stuff, Puffy, Lester, it's me, Emilio.
Wow.
Yes, Yes.
Wow.
I'm in love with Sarah Orlesky, 1999 version.
Of course you are.
Yes, it's true. We are going to settle down in Winnipeg, make sweet love all night long, and go to Bombers games and have a family.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yes, I know. Don't tell Mr. Rodsmith, baby. He'd not be happy. Gotta go. Here's Sarah. Love you.
Wow.
Emilio, I miss that guy.
What a development.
So happy for him.
No one saw this one coming.
No one at all, even us in here. So Emilio has fallen in love with 99 Sarah Orlesky. So Rod Baby's former personal house attendant, who had left and started his own company.
Yeah, well, maybe not so successful.
Has now ended up in Winnipeg and fallen in love with a past version of Sarah Orlesky.
But the thing is now does that mean the relationship isn't going to last? Because we now know that Emilio is no longer with current Sarah Orlesky.
Well, wait a second. That's right. Current Sarah Orlesky has a different husband and child.
Yes. No, I don't like Emilio's long-term chances.
Yes. Well,
perhaps we're talking about an alternate universe.
Yes.
It'll all be sorted out next season. Now, I know you. Have you run into 2018 Sarah Orlesky, which would be weird out there? And does she have anything she wanted to share with us?
It is pretty bizarre to run into the current Sarah Orlesky, because she's not nearly as exciting as the 1999 Sarah Orlesky. But regardless of 99 Sarah Orlesky or current Sarah, both have a beef with Puffy, per usual.
What's
Most
up?
people, I think, have.
Yeah.
The happiness rankings.
We only did it once this year.
We only did it once.
Where was Sarah?
I think she was higher than normal, but I think she was she wasn't at the top of the list.
I don't know how that's possible. I repeat every time I see you, Puffy, that I know all of our reporters. I don't believe that they're all happier than I am.
Did you win a provincial football championship this year? Because I know Farhan Lauji did.
No.
And that's why he was number one.
Listen.
All right, fine.
99
Look,
Sarah.
Stay ahead of Wally.
Yeah,
you'll always
be ahead of Wally, so you're safe. Listen, I know you have to go. We're so happy for you and Emilio, and I'm sorry about the broadcasting thing, but I'm sure you'll find your way.
It all works out in the end, I think.
We know it all works out in the end. Thank you, 99 Sarah Orlesky, and we'll see you in my dreams.
Yes. That's not creepy at all.
What a final line for me.
Have a great summer with Emilio.
I will.
See you, Sarah.
He's a splendid man. Goodbye, Sarah. That was wow. That was fantastic. That was 1999.
I got to admit, I was a little confused.
So happy for Emilio.
But Emilio came out of nowhere.
But how is Roddy going to take this?
I don't know.
He's probably going to be pretty upset because that's his
was
daughter.
That was his fountain. Well, we don't know. But.
Well, maybe potential daughter.
Yeah.
Well,
close enough that Emilio should know better.
There's a significant relationship there, and certainly to have your man, your former assistant, with your daughter.
It's tough. How about evil Lester Newman? How will he hunt him down?
I don't give a damn about the paternity test, right? She's my daughter. I don't give a damn.
Would you give your hand to, or what do you say? Would you approve an Emilio Sarah relationship?
Your blessing.
Your blessing. Sorry.
Your hand. Give your hand.
I'm having trouble with the talking again today.
I want to know what type of family he comes from, all right? The most important thing to do, and for me, is my family. And you don't cross Victor Newman and his family, all right? You got it?
Yes.
Good times. Oh, you know what? Because it is the last pod again of the season, the last formal pod, it's time for another mystery guest.
Middle of the morning, can't keep my eyes open, cause I got to have a cup of jabber. I got to have a cup of jabber. So I better log on to IDrinkCoffeeDotCom.
IDrinkCoffeeDotCom. One of our most popular theme songs, and the perfect way to introduce our live guest, live in studio.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Our sponsor, our soccer correspondent, Slavic, is here, as well as his lovely wife, Anna.
Yep.
who does not want to come on the mic. She wants nothing to do with us.
That's fair.
She's made a good decision.
Smart decision. Very smart.
Good life decision. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on. It's great. Thank you.
Well, no problem. Slavic came in. I took him down to the soccer studio.
Oh, you did?
Introduced him to the footy boys, Luke and Christian and Stephen Caldwell.
Those guys have been grinding.
Yeah, he's more impressed with them than ever meeting any of us.
That's true.
Yeah, I got to meet one of my favorite TFC players ever, Stephen Caldwell, our former captain.
Really? He's that high on your list?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Slavic, what's wrong with your TFC this year?
I don't know. I mean, they stink.
I keep on expecting them to. This is the game that's going to turn. No, they just lost.
So what would you do? Make a big trade? Fire the coach? What would you do?
No, not fire Vanny. He's a god.
Oh, stop it. I actually think they do need to make a change. I mean, somebody's got to take responsibility for what's going on, and I think it should be Vanny.
Whoa.
Wow. That's
Disagree.
big.
Fresh off a champion.
I know, that's the thing. I always think when people turn on coaches way too fast.
Maybe this is a new segment.
Footy head-to-head with Puffy and Slavic. Today's topic, Janny.
It's not
Stay or go.
Not Janny.
Craig Janny. Craig Janny. Oh, he played for the St. Louis Blues.
You know what? We talked about this when you phoned in, and I believe we were talking about the fact that the whole CONCACAF thing was a distraction.
Sure.
You know? And I think because they lost that, the way they lost it, I just don't think they've. It's to me, I'm not nearly as big a soccer fan as you guys, but to me, outside looking in, they just sort of lost their way. It demoralized them, and they've never really found their way back since.
I mean, I certainly agree with that. If you look at the way they're playing, they've lost their confidence. You know, they're not playing the same way. It's not the same group of guys. I mean, there's been injuries, there's been a lot of games, a lot of excuses. But at the end of the day, it is the coach's job to motivate the team. And I think that the other teams that they're facing have them figured out. You know, they're doing the same thing. There's no aerial game. We need a change. We need to start winning. I mean, the team that we have has no business being in last place or second to last place.
He belongs on a soccer panel.
That's pretty good.
I believe so.
But nobody really cares about TFC right now because the World Cup.
The World Cup of soccer.
And maybe we could ask Slavic the most important question, and maybe Stoff might want to open his mic on this one. What the hell happened to Poland? 2 Poles. The Rubber Pole Podcast.
That's right.
So you guys okay? Did you have a big hug when you met this morning?
Yeah.
I cried it out.
What happened? What happened to your poles? Go ahead, Slavic.
Again, I don't know. They're too old, or they can't pass. There's a very little, forward passing going to Lewandowski. He's not getting any service. He's one of the best strikers in the world, but he's the type of player that needs service. He's a typical number 9. Really. A goal scorer, not like in comparison to a guy like Messi who can create more on his own. But Lewandowski needs that service, and he's not getting it. I mean, I remember the first game, the passing accuracy was super high, and I thought that statistic was ridiculous because all of the passes were just between the defenders and back to the goalie. Once they got past midfield, they couldn't string 3 passes together, and you can't win if you don't score goals.
Anna, I know you can't talk because you don't have a microphone, but does he yell at his television when Poland is struggling? Yes, a lot. And what about you, Stoff? You're so quiet and reserved in here. Give me a picture of you watching Poland fall to defeat and the World Cup dreams ending.
Well, the Senegal game, I was definitely animated and screaming. By the time the Colombia thing rolled around and they scored their second goal, I was just completely dejected.
You Poles just gave up? Is that what you felt it was over?
The Poles gave up.
There was nothing there. There was no hope. I mean, they could have had another 3 hours. They wouldn't have scored a goal.
Do you think the problem, in essence, of the team was too many Poles?
I think there's too few. There's so many players of Polish heritage play elsewhere.
That's right. So, IDrinkCoffeeDotCom, we wanted to have you here, too, just to thank you for sponsoring us all year long. I think it went incredibly well. The theme song, people hum it on the streets.
A massive hit.
Got a lot of buzz.
Another remix. Tell you right now.
And what do you want to do, an a cappella version for him?
Middle of the morning can keep my eyes open because I got to have a cup of jabba. I got to have a cup of jabba. So I better log on to IDrinkCoffeeDotCom.
You get the money line, James.
IDrinkCoffeeDotCom. I was trying to do beatbox in there.
That is talent, though. Just to be able to be sprung on you to sing, and you can sing. Like
I know.
That.
Well, the thing is, I'm a
talent.
singer.
That's still
Lester was hoping.
Talent.
Lester was hoping we could live negotiate the musical rights to the song. He's going to start. His first offer is $250,000 for 1 year's use. Slavic, you can counter now.
1 year's use.
I think it would sound really good, in front of my YouTube videos, just as an intro.
Exactly.
But big announcement, IDrinkCoffee.com back for year 3 of the podcast. We thank you, my friends.
Thank you very much.
They had an awesome year. And how about the guy who won the golf club who actually had the
best part.
espresso machine?
Yeah.
I don't think our sponsorship started out great when I started calling them espresso machines in the first episode.
Your love of coffee.
I think it went up from there.
Yeah, certainly.
You and Anna have any plans for the summer before we let you go?
We're busy work-wise, but we're taking some time off. We're heading to Asia, to Thailand and Cambodia.
Whoa,
nice!
That's a big trip with the kids.
Yes, with the kids. We always travel with our 2 kids. Since they've been little, mostly, but only time we don't take them if it's on business.
Okay.
Nice.
So I want to go there. That's going to be, I was thinking that my next family trip, so I want a full report. Thailand, anyway. Cambodia, I don't know, man. That's too adventurous for me, maybe? Do you think, Puff?
Oh, it's all the same.
Are there W's in Cambodia?
Well, we had to
Starwood points.
Oh yeah, there are actually. We're staying at
W Cambodia. What do you think? What do you think I meant?
Not sure what you're going with.
There's a meridian.
There's a meridian.
Yeah, because I'm SPG as well.
See? You guys aren't even doing
we're on the same page.
Trips.
So the first time we have you on in the fall, as well as doing a footy update, we'll get a full Cambodia Thailand report. And maybe we can get Anna. Maybe she can be a correspondent for something.
Travel correspondent.
Yeah. Listen, buddy, thank you so much for everything. We really appreciate it, and can't wait to have you back next year.
Great. Thanks for having me on.
That's Slavic Janicki, our man from IDrinkCoffee.com, by the way, who had an unbelievable year. And you can go to IDrinkCoffee.com and buy. You've added, before you leave, you added 30, you were giving me a technical term, like more countries of coffee and things.
We've added a lot more SKUs over the last little while.
What does that mean, SKU? What is
SKUs? Stands for stock keeping unit, so it's just a product.
I did not take business.
And you ever been in a store?
Okay, so that means what does that mean?
Just a wider assortment of products. We're always adding new things that coffee enthusiasts are into. And if I could mention, we have our summer sweepstakes right now as well. We've added a third sweepstakes because they're so popular. You can enter to win a chance to win a Bezerra Matrix Dual Boiler Espresso Machine. And we're also giving away $50 gift certificate every single day leading up to the draw. You just got to go on the site, put your name and your email in. There's no purchase necessary. And, there's a great chance to win.
Are we eligible?
No.
Or if you drew our name?
Damn it.
Well, skew you, buddy. Skew you. Thanks a lot, Slavic.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
IDrinkCoffee.com.
Well, we saved the greatest mystery guest for last. The real star of this podcast. Just ask him.
Yeah.
Live on the phone from Calgary, Alberta. It is Rod
Downtown.
Baby. Rod Baby, how are you?
Hello, suckers. I can't believe you're still in the studio. It's summertime. Get out and live a little bit.
Well, you're living on the road. You're in Calgary, Roddy, making your stardom even bigger, doing a football game. What have you been up to out there?
Oh, I've been having a great time. I got to tell you, you know what, boys? The Calgary Stampede came early. I don't know if you were aware of that.
As soon as you got to town, right?
The concierge at the Fairmont Palliser told a pile of ladies that I'm staying upstairs in the penthouse suite. My door hasn't stopped knocking. And speaking of knocking, I must apologize. Roddy's got a bit of a headache this morning because I was out late last night. I was out late. I was at Cowboys.
Of course you were.
The last thing I remember I was naked at the bar. And I was doing Jello shots with Johnny Gaudreau and Harvey the Hound.
Roddy. We miss Roddy. We're just trying to figure out what's going to be the story arc of Roddy next season on the podcast.
You know what? I miss you guys too, and I would. I've enjoyed this so much, I'd do it for free. You don't actually believe that, do you? By the way, I may never get into studio again. I made more money off you just traveling, gallivanting all over the world doing this by phone. I think I like it this way.
Well, I was going to actually have Rod Smith on as well as Rod Baby, but I just enjoyed Rod.
He's too boring. Leave him alone.
I believe Rod Smith is out doing play-by-play, which is a blessing for the network. Not only we have Rod in studio, but Rod doing play-by-play for some games this year. So once again, Roddy conquering the entire network, essentially, right?
Personally, I think you having Rod Smith Baby on is a lot more of a blessing than him doing football. Just my opinion.
Well, we know Rod Baby has to go. He probably has a couple ladies coming up to the room shortly.
Oh, is that another knock on the door I hear?
But listen, I don't want to sober you up here, but I thought we should share this. We are friends, and you've been good to us. Yeah. And earlier in the season, 1999, Sarah Oleski, who appeared to me in your dream. And
my lovely Sarah.
Yeah, and you sent her out to Winnipeg to study broadcasting so she could fulfill her present-day thing of whatever she is. And
absolutely wonderful girl.
Yeah,
very proud of her.
We had her on the line a little bit earlier in the pod, and she's got a boyfriend.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
And so the boyfriend,
you know him.
There's no easy way to put this. Is your former personal assistant Emilio?
What? My lovely Sarah, Emilio? No!
I think he's gone.
I think he took that about as well as we would have thought he would take.
Wow. So Roddy's world is rocked. See, those are the kind of cliffhangers that just come out of the blue and hit you and make everybody can't wait all season for next season of the Rubber Boots podcast. Wow. How is Roddy going to cope with that?
Wow. Exactly. He's got all summer to figure it out.
That was a fun episode. Before we go, this isn't actual. I'm calling this the final episode only because it's the last time we are all together. But there will be one more bonus episode of the Rubber Boots pod next week from Cabot Links and Cabot Clips. They have come through, sponsored the podcast. Now, unfortunately, Lester's not a golfer. Stoff doesn't really golf. Puffy was supposed to be on the pod.
Yes.
But because of his damn wife and her damn job with a damn rival company, he had to stay and take care of his gambling-addicted children. Bump will be out there. Bump will make his last appearance of the year. He's going to have to pretty much carry the thing.
It's going to be a lot of Bump.
But replacing Puffy, and this I think will be fun. It's not Puffy, but my best buddy since grade 3, Mark Ward.
Mark Ward.
Who's also a nut bar and who's been suggesting a segment for ages called When He Was Jamie. So he's going to tell embarrassing stories about me from my youth, and he knows pretty much everything.
Be fantastic.
Wow. So he also plays in the band, so he may be able to bring his guitar and replace Lester.
Jamie feels like a completely different person.
Yeah, he was not confident. He made a lot of embarrassing mistakes, and I think they'll be shared on the pod.
Oh, that's fantastic.
The other person who will be on that trip is, I cannot name the person.
Okay.
He is a prominent personality that did not work for our company. So it's yet to be determined by our legal team whether he makes an appearance at all.
Oh, I think I know who this is.
Or whether maybe we can just change his voice. Stoff, do you have the ability to do that voice changing thing they do on like Dateline? Okay, so
the guy from Modern Family, isn't it?
Okay. Eric Stone Street is finally making it.
It's going to be Eric Cabot.
So a couple of things. We want to thank our sponsors before we go. We thank the fine people at Fandom for helping us out all year. IDrinkCoffeeDotCom. It was great to have Slavic in here today. The Gansevoort Resort, August. Jimmy and the family will be at the Gansevoort.
The whole family's going, yeah.
Maybe I'll do an interview with my buddy Bruce at the Gansevoort. We'll play next year because he's a huge Sens fan. He's a nut as well. So I will be at
happy times for him with
the lovely Gansevoort
Lots
Resort.
To talk about there.
We thank our friends at Cabot. We'll be talking nonstop about Cabot on the episode next week. We'll talk about our golfing adventures. And the folks at TaylorMade, who gave away drivers, they sent me a bunch of balls for the guys at Cabot. Check this out. This won't work so well on podcasting. I'm opening the TPX TaylorMade
balls just
golf
go
ball.
right into the hole.
That's the latest technology. These are the ones DJ and Rory and Tiger and I'll use.
Wow.
Oh,
that's awesome.
The Rubber Boots podcast logo stamped on
these
things. So I'm
Hold
going
that
to
up, James.
hold on.
Take a look again.
Yeah, well, you can take a photo after the podcast, Lester. We're actually still doing the podcast.
Nevertheless.
Here, you can take a sleeve.
I would love that.
Take a sleeve of these. I won't give you a box because you don't play enough golf.
That's great. Thank you.
You can have the rest of the box.
That's awesome.
For you when we play next.
Awesome.
And I'll give Soph a box as well. So thanks you to our fine folks at TaylorMade. Those golf balls will be littered all across Cabot Lakes and Cabot Cliffs. And it'll be the best advertising ever.
They will be in many a water trap.
We'll post a picture of the golf ball as well on Instagram. So that will be sometime next week, probably the end of next week. That pod will be up, or a couple days after that. Our final podcast of the year from Cabot Links and Cabot Cliffs. We thank you for their support. We thank all of you for listening all year long. We know that this is a train wreck at the best of times, but we all enjoy it very much. I want to thank Stoff, who works so hard on this thing, 10 times harder than any of us to put it together.
Thank you, Stoff.
It's the finest podcast producer in the business anywhere. He's fantastic. We're lucky to have him. I'm going to continue to suck up because I'm always worried he's going to quit. Puffy, we thank you for your brilliance and your stupidness and your all that stuff you bring in. Lester, all the songs you did this year were fantastic, as per always. I think in the last few episodes we stopped ignoring you more.
Yeah, I think we did better.
I think we've come around.
I feel like I'm
but I think that was kind of a good bit, so maybe we could get back to it next year.
We should get back to it. It's fun.
But to end the season on a proper note, Lester, you've been fired. We'll talk about
I knew it, Lindsay Hamilton and her damn guitar.
We'll talk about you returning sometime in September. So we'll be back. Brand new season sometime in the fall. The Double I Internship Contest.
Double I, it's going to be...
Roddy will be back. We'll see how Sarah 99 and Emilio are hanging out. Lindsay will come on. If you want more guests, let us know. Let your feedback on Instagram. I'm going to start reading the Instagrams now that I know that there's valuable information that comes in. And you 5 interns who are listening to this right now, you better get to work. You better come up with some segments. You better come up with some. You better scour Twitter to do stuff that we should talk about.
I got to do a couple of site surveys for Murder Island.
Yes, indeed. And we got to get the hell out of here. Have a great summer, everybody. But I will talk to you next week from Cabot. Lester, Puffy, have a great summer. Stoff, thank you. See ya.
How are ya? I got a question that I really wanna ask ya. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? Oh, I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. And I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank or the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? Do you really like the dunk tank at the fair? Dunk tank.
We can doctor that up.
Yeah.
Guys, is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
One more?
No, we don't want more.
No,